Let me tell you about Hannah Ellis, a girl from Harmony Creek, Georgia, a town where everyone knows your name and sweet tea flows like water. Hannah was as bright as a firefly, with honey hair and a smile that could melt the iciest heart. But she had grit too, loving every inch of her small town. One July afternoon, the air turned heavy and still, the kind of stillness that warns you something big is coming. The sun vanished behind bruised purple clouds, and the world went quiet. Hannah sat on her porch, shelling peas, but the silence felt wrong. The oak leaves flipped, the breeze turned cool and electric, and she knew a real storm was brewing. Down the street, Mr. Abernathy fought his porch umbrella, and Mrs. Gable's petunias teetered on the edge. Hannah's thoughts turned to Daisy, the Hendersons' new puppy, likely still tied up outside. A knot of worry tightened in her stomach. This wasn't just a summer shower. This was a storm that could cause real trouble. She scanned her street, realizing her neighbors might need help, and Hannah Ellis was never one to sit by when someone needed a hand. The storm wasted no time. A deep, growling thunder rolled in, shaking the porch beneath Hannah's feet. Lightning split the sky, turning the world ghostly white for a heartbeat. The next thunderclap was so close it rattled the windows. Rain began in heavy, splattering drops, quickly turning into a torrent. The wind howled, bending trees and sending flower pots skittering. Hannah watched as Mr. Abernathy abandoned his umbrella and Mrs. Gable's pots wobbled dangerously. In a flash of lightning, she spotted Daisy, the puppy, cowering in her doghouse. Hannah's heart pounded. She couldn't just watch. She grabbed her raincoat, determination setting in. The storm was wild, but her resolve was fiercer. She had to help, now. Without another thought, she dashed into the storm. Hannah yanked on her yellow raincoat and sprinted next door. Rain stung her face and the wind nearly knocked her over. She reached Mrs. Gable's patio just in time to save the teetering petunias, dragging them to safety. Next, she raced to Mr. Abernathy's yard, wrestling his runaway umbrella until she wrangled it under cover. Soaked and breathless, she paused only a moment. The storm raged, but Hannah's focus was clear. Daisy needed her. She turned toward the Hendersons' backyard, squinting through the downpour. The little doghouse was barely visible, but she pressed on. Her heart ached for the frightened puppy. Every step was a battle, but she refused to give up. Hannah was on a mission, driven by kindness and courage. She braced herself for the hardest part yet. Daisy was waiting. The backyard was a river of mud and rain. Hannah's sneakers squished as she waded to the fence, fumbling with the slippery latch. Inside the doghouse, Daisy trembled, eyes wide with fear. Hannah knelt in the mud, her voice gentle. "It's okay, Daisy, I'm here." At first, Daisy shrank back, but Hannah's calm words coaxed her forward. She unclipped the leash and scooped Daisy into her arms. The puppy buried her face in Hannah's neck, shivering. Hannah shielded Daisy with her body as she trudged back, every step a struggle. The wind and rain battered them, but she pressed on. Her arms ached, but she didn't stop. She was soaked, muddy, and exhausted, but she was determined. Step by step, she carried Daisy to safety. A girl and a puppy, braving the storm together. As Hannah reached her porch, the storm began to fade. She wrapped Daisy in a towel, the puppy's tail thumping in gratitude. Sunlight broke through, turning the wet world to gold. A rainbow arched overhead, a promise after the chaos. Neighbors emerged, blinking in the light. Mrs. Gable hugged Hannah, grateful for her saved flowers. Mr. Abernathy tipped his hat in thanks. The Hendersons rushed over, overjoyed to see Daisy safe. They promised Hannah a batch of cookies, but she just smiled. She hadn't helped for praise. She'd done what was right. Standing in the sun, surrounded by grateful neighbors, Hannah felt peace. The storm had tested her, but kindness and courage had won. In Harmony Creek, that's what truly mattered.